Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to Podmas, our Advent journey of wine, stories, and a little moment of reflection. I am your host, your fat friend Mark, and it is day 7. So far, we've traveled through Italy, Spain, France, New Zealand, Australia, Hungary. Each night, a new wine, a new mood. And here's a quick flashback. Day 1, we had Le Artiste Ripasso, a deep, rich, warming. Mm. Day 2, El Campeon White Sangria, which was light and fruity and playful. Day 3 was Champs de Foin, which was a rustic French red cab. Day 4, Sheep Station Sauvignon Blanc, a crisp New Zealand freshness. Day 5, we had Concentric Circles, Aussie Red Blend, a bold blended, a little wine, a little wild. Day 6 was a seaworthy tale, which was a Gruner Veltliner. It was bright and elegant, Hungarian white. And now, for day 7, we've landed in the good old USA, right in the heart of it all, California, with a white wine. I'm sorry, not a white wine, with a wild wine. Queen's Gambit. Introducing this Zinfandel called Queen's Gambit. That grape that almost is synonymous with America's reds. Juicy, bold, often with ripe fruit, spice, and a little bit of swagger. This wine promises a combination of blackberries and red berries, a hint of coffee, and subtle grilled aromas. The makers describe it as smooth, mellow, with round, delicate tannins and a warm, lingering finish. Zin like this is great for winter nights, comforting, strong enough to stand up to a hearty meal, yet open enough to sip and slowly reflect. Let's talk about a little bit of history and some context around the Californian Zinfandel. Zinfandel has deep roots in California, while the grape originally traces back to Europe. Over time, it's become a flagship for many regions across California, from the foothills to the coastal vineyards to the warm inland valleys. And really quickly, let's take a look because, of course, not everyone here is from the US. So this is the United States of America, California. We can see outlined there on the far left coast, west coast. And right here is Napa County highlighted within California, that little red area. And here is the Napa Valley, kind of showing off where a lot of the vineyards and all of that kind of fun stuff is. And this is the Napa Valley, beautiful. I'd love to be on one of those hot air balloons flying around. And here is a specific vineyard. You can see a lot less of those rolling hills. California, especially in the Napa Valley, is a lot more flat than some of the areas we've looked at. And what makes Zinfandel popular is its versatility. It can be bold and muscular, peppery and rustic, or like our Queen's Gambit tonight, smooth, fruit forward, and comforting. That adaptability has made it a mainstay in America for generations. So let's talk about what to expect. When you pour this wine, expect a deep red to purplish hue, a zin that's not shy. On the nose, let's find out. Let me start opening this thing up. On the nose, ripe dark fruit and red berries. Blackberry and maybe a hint of raspberry, plus background notes of coffee or cocoa, and a subtle smoky or grilled wood aroma. Body-wise, medium to medium full, but not overly heavy. The wine opens smooth with gentle tannins that give structure without being aggressive. And on the finish, warm, lingering with a sense of comfort, kind of like wrapping yourself in a soft blanket by the fire. I don't know. We also have some separate tasting notes provided. But let's get this thing open and get our glass poured before I read that off to you. All right. So it says these are more detailed, and I guess let's see. First sniff. Well, let's pour it in the glass. First sniff, dark berries, blackberry, plum, maybe a little ripe raspberry, and that subtle coffee or cocoa undertone. Let's see. Definitely picking up blackberries, plum, and coffee. It is there. It's almost like coffee grounds. It says first sip, juicy, slightly sweet fruit up front, then a soft spice, maybe a hint of clove or baking spice. The tannins round things out gently. Let's see. It is juicy, sweet up front. I'm not really picking up any clove, but I definitely do get what they mean by some of those baking spices. Mid palate, warmth builds with a bit of smoky or grilled character and a smooth, fruit forward core. I would agree with that. There is definitely some warmth on the back of the tongue. It is a little smoky. I would say more grilled than smoky. On the finish, lingering dark fruit, soft spice, and gentle warmth. Not heavy but satisfying. It's a zin that feels cozy, welcoming, and just right for a winter evening. All of that. I would agree with all of that. Let's talk about food because I'm a fat guy and you know I love food. This wine loves big flavors. Here are some pairings that really shine with Queen's Gambit. Barbecue, smoked meats, ribs, brisket, sausages. The smokiness plays beautiful with the wine's fruit and spice. Pizza with pepperoni, sausage, mushrooms. That mix of fat and spice and umami gets lifted by the zin's acidity and fruit. Hearty tomato-based pasta dishes, lasagna, bolognese, baked ziti. The acidity and red fruit cut through the richness. And yes, I know it's lasagna and bolognese, so calm down. Roast beef or lamb. Red meat gives the wine structure to stretch and deepen. Rich stews or chili, especially with beans, spicy, or a smoky edge. Dark chocolate desserts, brownies, chocolate cake, or even a dark chocolate bar. The cocoa coffee note in the wine will echo beautifully. I'm not really picking up cocoa. Maybe it's just me. Roasted root vegetables or mushrooms for a lighter but savory pairing when meat isn't on the table. And a serving tip, Zin loves time to breathe. Give it 10 to 15 minutes after opening to let that smoky character meld with the fruit and soften the tannins. As we do every night, it's time for our Advent reflection. Tonight's wine is bold, warm, and inviting. Much like a hearth on a cold winter's night, in the middle of the hustle, this Zin asks us to slow down, to settle in, and to enjoy something robust and real. Sometimes in Advent, we chase sparkle, lights, gifts, hustle. But moments like this remind us of a different kind of richness: comfort, warmth, connection, simplicity. So, here's your nightly thought. Where in these busy days can you pour yourself something real, something honest, grounding, and a little bold? Well, that wraps up Podmas Day 7. Thanks for sharing this California Zinfandel with me. I hope it brings you a little fire and comfort to your evening. Tomorrow for Day 8, we'll open another bottle, a different grape, different region, different story. The journey continues. Until then, stay warm, stay grounded, and happy Podmas.